My name is Chris Ferreri. I work for ICAP. I'm a managing director there. I've been there for 27 years. We were located in the World Trade Center on 9/11. We moved into the Trade Center after a merger October of the previous year. We heard a loud rumbling sound, and the building swayed left, swayed right, swayed left again, and then just sort of vibrated. It had swayed so severely that desk drawers opened up, like being on a ship. Something major had happened. We had no thought that it would be a plane. A lot of us thought it was maybe a generator, something in the building that had gone wrong. And we began walking down the stairwell from the 25th floor. The guards were instructing everyone to be calm, cover your heads, but you could hear thumps outside, and just thumping sounds. And there was a plaza between the two buildings, and you couldn't make out what was falling, but later you would learn that they were people. We gathered a few friends outside of the World Financial Center, and it was at that point that I heard the second plane coming in. The pilot actually revved the engine as he was approaching the building, so you could hear the plane coming in and then the engines roar. And as I looked up, I could see the tail of the plane going into the second building. Just imagine the complete chaos going on. And we were standing on Albany Street and looking up at the building burning, and you could hear a groan, and just this groaning sound. And I looked up at the building, and it was starting to collapse. And we ran south a little bit further, realized we were going to outrun the cloud, so we just stopped in Battery Park and sat on a wall, covered our faces with our shirts, and it was silent. All of that sound, all of that noise, sirens, was silent. And at that point, I knew how many thousands of people just died. There's no words that can explain the desire to get normal. My wife was a little angry with me because I went to work on September 12th. I'm a manager at the company, and we all got on the phone together and decided, what are we going to do? How are we going to do this? Our competitors were in Jersey City, and they said, come on and use our offices. There's no competitors right now. Well, whatever we can do to help you get started, we'll do. There are people that don't know life without cell phones, and there are people that don't know the world before the Trade Center. It was a symbol of our country. That's why it was attacked. Our city represented the power of America. That's why it was attacked. And I think the resiliency we showed as a people, regardless of how you measure victory, the fact that we went back to work was a victory. The fact that New York City rebuilt is a victory. The politics of what the building looks like and who pays for it, and that stuff gets worked out. Disappointed that it's not finished after 10 years. But I think history is going to look at those as details.